Have you noticed how many of us are tired? I mean, we ask, how are you? Tired. What's going on? I'm tired. Everybody is tired. And trust me, I get it. I mean, I've had seasons where it honestly felt like it didn't even matter how many hours of sleep I got. I still woke up feeling groggy and just lethargic and uninspired to start the day. And have you also noticed, and this is crazy, but at the end of the day of that you started out tired, of course you're exhausted. I mean, going nonstop, giving all your energy to like work, doing all the things, helping all the people, getting all your people to all their places. You're thinking, I cannot wait to fall into bed tonight. But then night comes, lay down in bed, and you cannot sleep. What is happening? I mean, your body is tired, but your mind and your nervous system, they just will not seem to allow for rest. So, I mean, if that feels familiar to you, you are not alone. 1 in 3 adults in the US are not getting enough sleep on a regular basis, and they are citing stress, yes, more often than menopause, as a major factor. And, this is a big deal, especially for women in midlife, which is a lot of my audience here. So, this really, really matters. Research from the National Institute on Aging shows that women who struggle with sleep may have up to 75% higher risk of cardiovascular disease. That's a lot. So, this isn't just about feeling rested and feeling great, it's really about longevity too. So, what if I told you that the Enneagram can help you crawl into bed at night calm, clear headed, and ready for your body to truly rest? Welcome to another episode of Enneagram Life Hacks. What's a life hack? Well, at its core, a life hack helps you solve a problem and live your life more effectively. Today, we're using the Enneagram to life hack better sleep. Hey, friends, and welcome to the Living Well Enneagram Podcast. I'm your host, Jen Stanley, and around here we talk about the Enneagram, real life, and what it means to grow and live well. Stick around to be inspired by real people, real stories, and real life application of Enneagram wisdom. When you look at the research, there are 3 generalized reasons why we don't sleep well. First is stress and anxiety. Now, this ranked number 1 in every study that I looked at, even higher than menopause, surprisingly. But also, it's affecting kids. Really, really young kids are also not sleeping well because of stress and anxiety. Now, number 2 would be our lifestyle and environmental factors. I mean, basically, our sleep habits are terrible. And this is definitely not helped by the fact that most of us sleep with our phones. And then the third reason would be medical conditions and medications, hormones, chronic pain, sleep disorders. Now, I certainly cannot help with medical conditions, so you have to talk to your doctor about that. But what I can do is help us use the Enneagram to life hack our evening rituals for better sleep. But first, let me ask you a question. Why are you tired? I mean, most people think sleep is about what happens at night, but it's not. Sleep is the result of how we lived our day. A really great question to ask as we get started here is, why are you tired? And I'm not talking about the simple answers like my schedule's too busy or there's too many demands and expectations at work and home. I mean, I want to go a little deeper than that. Why am I tired at my core? Enneagram ones, are you tired from carrying responsibility and internal pressure all the time? Twos, are you tired of over functioning and showing up 100% for other people? Threes, are you tired from trying to earn your way through life? Fours, are you tired from the emotionally intense experience it is to live your life and from the comparison that comes without trying? Fives, are you tired from the energy drain of people interruptions and making sure that you remain competent all the time? Sixes, are you tired from scanning and anticipating and always having to have multiple options running at once? Sevens, are you tired from outrunning discomfort, from planning all the time and being in constant motion? Eights, are you tired from staying strong, being the strong one all the time? Nines, are you tired from holding in your own desires and wishes and making sure keeping everybody else around you okay? When we are more aware of the root cause of our tiredness, we are more likely to make the changes necessary to truly impact not just the quality of our sleep, but the quality of our lives. I would love it if you would leave a comment in the show notes to just talk to me. Like, what is the root of your tiredness? How do you see that connected to your Enneagram number? I'd love to have more dialogue on this. Now, before we go to the number specific sleep life hacks, I want to give you 3 non-negotiables for better sleep. Now, these apply to everyone, and I don't want to repeat them for every single number. So let's just agree. These 3 things are universally important. They matter to everyone. And if you're not doing these things, do these things. First, your screens. Don't be on screens at least an hour before bed. I mean, we know this, right? We know this, people, but we don't do it. Get an analog alarm clock. Plug your phone in the bathroom. Just get it away from your bed. And for all things good and sacred, please teach this sleep habit to your kids. Screens are ruining our sleep. Second would be substances. So limit caffeine, nicotine, alcohol in the hours leading up to sleep. It makes a big difference. And then third is your sleep environment. It really does matter what environment you're sleeping in. It needs to be dark, needs to be cool. Maybe you need a noise machine. Maybe it matters if it's uncluttered and feels cozy and safe to you. Pay attention to your sleep environment. Okay, now, assuming we're on the same page with those 3 non negotiables, let's talk about your Enneagram number and how it can help you create an evening routine that optimizes sleep. Hey, Jen here. Have you heard about my signature program called Intermission? It's for women who are navigating any kind of life transition, like maybe an empty nest, maybe a career change, or maybe simply just wanting to be more intentional about what comes next in your life. If you're interested in learning more or joining the waitlist for the next Intermission cohort, there's a link in the show notes. All right, at night, your personality gets louder, not quieter. You're tired, you're kind of stressed, your mind is reviewing the day you've had, you start thinking about and worrying about tomorrow. You're replaying conversations you wish you'd handled differently, the things you didn't get to, the pressures, the expectations that you feel going into the next day. I mean, your stress patterns, they don't disappear. And if you go to bed as your stressed self, you're going to sleep like your stressed self. Restless, busy, nervous, half present, not fully at ease. But there is a simple Enneagram life hack that you can use in your evening routine. Think about it. We're trying to move away from feeling stress and anxiety at night. So, what if you borrow energy from your secure number and use that to help you regulate your nervous system so that you feel grounded and whole and more like your true self? Now, I have a 3-step evening ritual that I think is very, very helpful. And we're going to use the Enneagram to sort of frame that up for each Enneagram number. But in general, the 3 steps are close the loop. And this is just helping your brain shut down for the day. The second is that you borrow security energy from your secure number. And then the third is that you signal safety to your body and your soul so that it can truly begin to rest. All right, are you ready for your number specific life hack? All right, let's go. We're going to start with the thinking numbers for this because I know that all of the thinking numbers, boy, they really have a hard time shutting down their mind at night. So let's start with the 5, 6, 7 and move around the Enneagram circle from there. So, Enneagram 5, in order to help you do this evening routine, to close the loop, I want you to write down the main thought or question that your brain is stuck on. instead of like a generalized brain dump of everything you're thinking about, I want you to just write down the core thing that won't seem to let itself go out of your mind. And you're going to write, I will return to this tomorrow. So it's like you've set it down, it's captured, it's in a safe place, it's not going anywhere, and you will return to that tomorrow. So just write down that one thing that isn't wanting to let go. And then I invite you to borrow the secure energy from your number 8 and ask yourself, what is it that I need right now? And take that one decision and put it into action. So, this is not like what's the best thing I could do. This is like what is supportive of me right now. It might be I need to get some water, go get the water. It might be I need to shut down my screens, turn off the light, do those things. It might need to be, I need to stop thinking about this, close the notebook. It's something very supportive of you, and it's a decision and an action. That energy will help you. And then, in order to signal safety to your body, it is important for the 5 to get out of the head and truly into the body. So, stretching, a short walk, doing breathing exercises where you're really filling up the entire belly and lungs and letting it out, anything to really ground yourself. You may want to do lay on the ground and kind of feel each part of your body, your feet and your ankles and your calves and your knees, and like really sense your body laying on the ground is a way to signal to your body, it's okay to be out of my head right now. I'm in my body and I'm ready for sleep. Enneagram 6, as you think about your nighttime routine, in order to close the loop in your mind, I want you to write down your worries or your undoneness in your head and just write, not for tonight. So, again, just like that number 5 life hack, it's capturing them and putting them somewhere safe so that you won't forget them, you won't not be responsible for them, but you also can say, I don't need to do this right now. I don't need to do this tonight. And then I want you to borrow some energy from your secure number, which is 9. So you're going to remind yourself in this moment, there is nothing for me to solve. I don't need to do anything. And what this is going to help you do is it's going to help you move from over responsibility to, you know what? Nothing is required of me right now. All is well. And to signal safety to your body, again, we want to get out of the head into the body and do guided breath work or guided meditation. Now, I'm saying guided because this way you're not relying on yourself and you're not worried about if you're doing it right or wrong. And so there are so many apps that you can use for guided meditation at night or guided breath work. And these work beautifully for an Enneagram 6. For an Enneagram 7, winding down at night can be kind of tough. There's so much to do and so many fun things to think about or plan. But I want you to close the loop in your mind by writing down all the open tabs. Keep a running list. Again, for the 5, the 6, and the 7, anybody that is in their head a lot, having a safe place to park your thoughts so that you know they won't be forgotten or neglected does wonders for closing the loop on the day and allowing yourself to rest. And then you can go to your secure number, which is number 5, and you're going to borrow that energy of focus and calm. And I want you to focus on one thing for 15 minutes. Maybe this is a book, maybe this is a reflection. It's certainly not scrolling on your phone or watching a TV show. Something that engages you in a deeper, connected way from that Enneagram 5. So, just a single task, single focus for a few minutes before bed. This will calm you and help you come into yourself more. And then to signal safety, I'd like you to try 5 minutes of stillness. Now, this tells your body you don't have to keep going. You do not have to be in constant motion. It is safe for you to be still. There's no one else you need to be. There is nothing that you need to chase after or plan right now. You are allowed to stop and you are allowed to sleep. And so, as if 5 minutes seems like too many, work up to it. But stillness is absolutely your friend, Enneagram 7, especially right before you sleep. All right, let's go to the body type. So, Enneagram 8, as you are working through your evening routine, in order to close the loop, I'd like for you to acknowledge to yourself where your intensity showed up today, where you felt the intensity in yourself rise to the top. Just acknowledge it, maybe write it down in a journal, but let that close the loop on the day so that you don't feel like you have to stay in that protective mode. You can see it as an observer. And then I want you to borrow from your secure number, which is 2. Borrow the energy and potentially send a text or make a phone call, write a note of gratitude, do something servant minded or loving for someone else that will help you sort of open the heart and begin to close down the body. And then to signal safety, we want to help you soften the body. So, what is really good for this is to do breath work and also to combine that with engaging your muscles and then letting them fully relax, and then engage the muscles and then relax. So if you can, utilize breathing in for 6 and out for 8, breathing in for 6, holding tight to your muscles and then letting everything relax, that is going to help your body come out of protector mode and into a safe, rest ready way of being. All right. So, number 9, as you are in your evening routine, in order to close the loop, I'd like for you to journal where you felt yourself maybe numbing out, checking out, or merging. A place where maybe you felt a desire to step in, but you replaced it with moving back. This is not to induce shame or any type of regret. It's just to simply allow yourself to begin to notice those moments because you matter. Now, as you borrow security in the evening from your type 3 secure number, I'd like for you to choose one meaningful action for tomorrow and then commit to a time to do it. So, this is just something that's important to you. Maybe it's going for a walk in the morning or meeting up with a friend or making a phone call to a friend that you want to, anything that's important to you. Just decide what is one meaningful action you're going to take the next day and commit to a time of doing it. And then finally, in order to signal safety, I want you to prepare something simple that will help you in the morning, that will serve you well in the morning. Now, this is going to create a sense of direction and a sense of momentum. It is not planning the whole day. It is not creating pressure or becoming hyper productive at night. It's something, it's just one small, simple, kind act that will help you have direction and momentum in the morning. So this could be laying out your clothes for the next day. It could be writing down 1 to 3 priorities for the next day, or even just getting your coffee ready to go in the morning, a little coffee station ready so that it's something that when you wake up in the morning, it's an easy way to greet the day. And type 1. So as you're preparing for your evening wind down, when to close the loop, I need you to write down 1 to 3 things of that you are still mentally engaging, that you are still turning around in your mind. Maybe it's a resentment feeling when you think about it. Maybe it's a frustration feeling. Maybe it's a I got to figure this out feeling. But whatever is still churning around in your brain, I'd love for you to just note those things and write them down. Allow them to live on paper so that they don't have to live in your mind overnight. Now, to borrow from your secure energy number, which is 7, I'd love for you next to list 3 things that went right on the day. Now, not perfectly, but 3 things about the day that went well and that gave you joy. Just tap into that place in you that has that playful, fun, beautiful spirit and really go into a reflect mode and notice those things from the day. Now, to signal safety to your body, I want you to do something just light and enjoyable. So, this might be listening to music or maybe doing some light reading, could be stretching, just something that feels not heavy. It needs to feel very light and good in the body. And now for the heart centered numbers. All right, so type 2, as you are closing the loop in the evening, I want you to write into the journal and write it down. Here's what I gave today. This is just going to get it out of your head, and it's going to allow you to recognize all that you've done. You have done enough. Here's what I gave today, and it was enough. It was enough. I'd like for you to borrow some secure energy from the number 4 and go ahead and keep journaling and say, what did I feel today? What did other people feel? I know that one will be easy for you, but what was I feeling today? And I'd love for you to just journal 3 honest emotions that you had during the day. This is just going to put you more in touch with yourself and your own needs and cares in the world. And then to signal safety, I'd love for you to have a no tech self care ritual that you do every single night. It can be 5 minutes long. It can be light a candle, wash my face, and brush my teeth, listen to my favorite song. Now, it could be longer than that. It could be sitting with a hot cup of tea and reading, it could be taking a bath. Whatever it is, I'd love for you to have a no tech self care ritual that you can execute literally as many nights as you possibly can. All right, type 3. So as you close the loop, it is very helpful to write down tomorrow's top 3 priorities. This is going to allow you to know that you've got what you need to be successful tomorrow. So decide what those top 3 priorities will be, write them down, and know that they are living safely there in your journal or on paper. I'd like for you to borrow some secure energy from your secure number, which is 6. And this can be with just connecting with a loved one or a friend. Now, this could be a call, a text, a note, could be face to face, in person. But basically, what this helps us do is tap into that relational loyalty, the common good that the 6 brings to us, and gets us out of our own earning and constant striving and task. So it puts us in relationship over task. And this is a really good thing to do as we end the day, because what's most important in life? I mean, we know it's relationships, but sometimes it's hard to follow through on that. And to signal safety, be sure that you actually change your clothes and your environment before bed. Now, I know this seems crazy, but as an Enneagram 3, I have been known to have my laptop in my bed. I'm not proud of it, okay? But this idea of like you put on pajamas and you put away all of the work things and you change the environment around you, you change the lighting, you change what you see, you change what you wear, you signal that the work day is done. There is nothing left I need to accomplish today. This is an important signal that we need to be conscious of when we do it. There's nothing else I need to accomplish today. And for the type 4, when you go to close the loop, I'd love for you to write down what is emotionally lingering for you today. What emotions are still just calling and trying to get your attention? Let them live in your journal overnight. And then you can borrow energy from your secure number, which is number 1. And you can choose one small, structured action to take. I mean, I'm talking real small, 3 to 5 minutes. Maybe tidy up one area of your space. Maybe just write down what tomorrow's priorities are going to be. Maybe you prep your lunch for the next day. Just a small 3 to 5 minute disciplined action that will set you up for success tomorrow. And then to signal safety, I would love for you to have a repeated, predictable routine that you do in the same order every night. Now, maybe this looks like I light a candle, I wash my face, and I drink hot tea. Whatever it is, it's important because predictability is the safety. Because instead of being pulled towards whatever your emotions are telling you to do, you're coming out of your emotions and you're saying, these are the 3 things I do when I go to bed. And even if your emotions are pulling at you, going, let's keep going. The ritual is saying, no, we're landing things now and I'm ready to rest. All right, so that's Enneagram life hacks for sleep and your evening ritual and routine. I would love for you to give it a try for a couple of nights and then come back to the show notes and tell me how it went. I would love to hear from you. I hope this helps you get a great night of sleep. Hey, don't forget to follow and subscribe because all month long we're talking about life hacks with the Enneagram and you do not want to miss it.